Long time no see. I know it's been a few weeks, but as I predicted, things in hiring, especially in the tech industry, would change in August. Now we're in September, and it's super obvious that a lot of companies are laying off or reducing their hiring speeds. And on today on LinkedIn, I saw a really confusing article. So this video is about how LinkedIn is gaslighting you and convincing you the hiring market is different than it is, but by Janita Prudente, who is the editor at LinkedIn News. Something to think about whenever you hear any news about hiring or job seeking in the industry. Consider where it's coming from, who's talking about it. If you are an editor-in-chief at LinkedIn, of course you're gonna wanna make it the best environment for LinkedIn, right? Now, as a reminder, LinkedIn is a professional network, but how do they make money, you ask? Because they don't charge anyone to make company profiles or make any profiles in general. A large amount of LinkedIn's money comes from the back-end LinkedIn recruiting feature. So that means that LinkedIn is really heavily invested in encouraging hiring on their platform and setting, quote, hiring standards. So this article says, job seekers, proceed with caution. Spotting warning signs during the hiring process can be difficult if you don't know what to look for. According to a recent survey of job seekers, there are 3 main red flags in job postings: no specified salary range, a low base salary, and an experience requirement that is too high for the position. There's no surprise that these top 2 warning signs involve pay. CNBC says it has CNBC Make It notes that pay transparency is now a major priority for today's job seekers, as more states require employers to disclose salary ranges. Interesting little title there. Obviously only a paragraph for, I suppose, an article, but a few points I wanted to bring out that gaslighting you on the job search. Number 1, they specify the 3 main red flags when you are looking for a job from a company. I did a video like this where I responded to some other recruiter saying that their flags, what they thought were the red flags. And to be honest, there's a lot more red flags in the hiring process than something like salary range. And if I were to say the top 3 red flags in the hiring process, none of these would make the cut. This sounds like something that a company like LinkedIn, who's selling a recruiting tool, would complain about. Talking about first, no specified salary range. Now, on the back end of LinkedIn, on LinkedIn Recruiter, the website heavily pushes you to list a salary range. It's kind of hard to list a job without a salary range on LinkedIn. They make a big deal of it. Why? Those jobs tend to get the most applicants. No surprise there, but another aspect would be a low base salary. LinkedIn has all the information that you don't when it comes to pay and pay per job title. So low base salary, well, LinkedIn is incentivized to encourage employers to offer a higher base salary that encourages the talent market we have now that's highly competitive, where employers have to offer abnormally high salaries in order to compete. That benefits LinkedIn. If companies are having to offer higher salaries, they need to use the LinkedIn platform more to recruit those people, and just keeps the thing going. And the last one, an experience requirement that is too high for its posted position. I mean, yeah, I will say that is a little bit of a red flag, and I do agree there, but I would say that the experience requirement that's too high for the position, the most competition when it comes to jobs are typically on jobs that have a high level of experience needed. And honestly, a lot of jobs actually do need experience, but having an experience level that is too high for a posted position, it's really conditional on who decides that it's too high. And of course, LinkedIn benefits from companies reducing their requirement for jobs. That just increases the amount of activity people have on LinkedIn, trying to job hop and find the highest salary the quickest that they can. I will put a warning in for you people who love to get their salary ranges by changing jobs. That might not be a good idea in the coming economy. A lot of companies are starting to notice that people only change jobs to get a raise. sometimes you don't get a raise at work because you don't deserve one. That's the harsh truth that not everyone wants to hear, but as companies like Best Buy and Amazon start to lay off, there's going to be a little bit less opportunity for that kind of behavior. But LinkedIn news is correct. There is no surprise that the two top warning signs involve pay. We are clearly going through the beginning of a difficult economy, and because of that, job seekers should proceed with caution, but for entirely different reasons than I think LinkedIn is saying. Number one, proceed with caution for a company that says remote may be possible. There's a big may there. There's likely someone in a C-level position that doesn't want to go remote, and maybe the director managing that position does like remote. There's a little internal conflict. Maybe in the future they plan to bring the team more on site. That maybe remote, that is definitely a red flag on the job search. Another red flag would be a company that has hired a lot of people over the past year. Yes, growth hiring is a thing, but growth hiring involves a lot of people being dropped off in the process. If you're hiring a ton of people quickly, then you're used to letting a ton of people go quickly too. Kind of common. Companies that hire at that high velocity, well, they need to have the business to support that hiring speed, or else they're just wasting their money. And a lot of these companies that hire quickly are working with third-party recruiters. These are people that have money on their mind, so they're going to try to get you into the job that they are hiring for. They're not really looking out for your career long-term, and they're not looking out for the company long-term. They're just looking for some money in there. And companies that actively engage with a lot of recruiters, yes, they may be growth hiring and they have the business to support that kind of behavior, but a lot of times it's ambitious growth hiring or fictitious money supporting this growth hiring. And instead you have companies that last year were paying 30 grand a pop to hire someone. Now this year they're laying people off. I can name plenty of specific companies that do that. If you watch my channel, you've heard me say it. And the final red flag, I would say not posting salary ranges online there's an agenda behind that. People just don't do that because they're trying to squeeze the most money that they can get out of their employees. Sometimes they are open to hiring someone more junior for the role, and they don't want to give these junior candidates the wrong impression, right? If I'm saying I'm hiring a software engineer, but maybe I'll consider a new grad, I might list that software engineer role at the salary range for someone mid-level because that's ambitious. Maybe I want mid-level, but if a new grad applied, I certainly would consider them, but I would be concerned that they think my mid-level salary posted online is the salary that they are going to get. And I am a job seeker too. Just because I work in hiring doesn't mean I've never been a job seeker, and I've been there. It's super frustrating to not see the salaries posted online, but there are a lot of times that does benefit the candidate more than it benefits the company because it allows you to have more opportunity. I'll also say we are in a world where every single person applying for a job, negotiating salary, and trying to get hired, every single one of them is trying to get the most money that they can. And yeah, we're in a crazy world where I'm seeing people who are hiring VP of engineering offering $400K base pay, which is up there with the most well-paid neurologists. And I can see why everyone else is increasing their salary asks, because that kind of thing is crazy. But, be careful in this world. If a company does not want to disclose its salary range, that's a red flag. If you ask for an interview and they don't want to give it, definitely a red flag. Not listing it online, maybe a red flag, maybe not. I think that's just job seekers' prejudice towards hiring. A lot of people assume that an employer is always trying to extract more money from their employee than they put into the employee, but there's also missing in there an asterisk. Don't forget the 10 people in the company that have been there for 12 years and underperforming most of the time, right? That doesn't really come into factoring, but this is a fun discussion about why I think LinkedIn is gaslighting job seekers, making them think they have a lot more opportunity or leverage than they really have. And of course, that benefits LinkedIn. If LinkedIn's telling you that there's plenty of job opportunities and you should expect recruiters to fight over you, or you should expect people to try to salary bid on you, that's what LinkedIn's saying, but I wouldn't suggest it in these times. I'm personally seeing a lot of people who rejected a job offer specifically from my company just a week later to ask for it back. That's happened multiple times this summer already. I would expect it to go up. So don't let LinkedIn gaslight you. Listen to people who actually are hiring for the jobs that you're looking for. I am a tech recruiter hiring for software engineers. If you work with Java, feel free to comment or message me, get in touch with me. But in general, people like me are going to know a little bit more about how to get a job in the job market than someone that is an editor at LinkedIn News who is financially incentivized to keep you on LinkedIn applying for jobs. But thanks for watching my channel. I hope you enjoy. I'm back. I'm about to do another video talking about companies laying off so you can be up to date about August and smash into some of the companies right now that are laying off, like Amazon saying that they're going to slow down their hiring. Like I said would happen. So not trying to brag or anything, but I would expect unemployment rate to go up by next year, and we're going to still keep seeing these I wouldn't call it a bloodbath because it's not hitting every industry, but I would expect to continue seeing these big companies across e-com, real estate, financial companies, business automation tool companies, SaaS and PaaS platforms. These are the kind of companies that are slowing down hiring, laying off, or reducing their headcount numbers. And I would expect to keep that. I would expect to keep seeing that happen until the end of October, beginning of November. Most companies will chill out over the holidays. If you are still at your company past the holidays, then you're probably safe at some level. Then I would expect the, laying off, the firings, or whatever you call it, to increase again once we get into the end of the first quarter. Feel free to call me out if I'm right or not. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.